Hi, everybody. This is Tom Grisak, and this video is a little different for us. This isn't business related. I'm here with Doug Kite, and Doug is, I'll talk a little bit about his history in a second, let him tell you about his history, but he's also he's a friend of mine, and I use his paddles, pickleball paddles. Good pickleball player, and they came up with a really neat design on their paddles, which I like and I use. So, Doug, thank you for being with us today.
Yeah, Tom, thanks for having me over. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this will be fun because I can learn more about these too, and I'll tell you why I like the paddles. But start off with you were a really good racquetball player before you got into pickleball, right?
Yeah, I played racquetball for a number of years and played at the national level. Played in a lot of national tournaments like the USA's national tournaments, the US Open, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of NMRA tournaments, which is the National Master Racquetball Association tournaments. And the person I played with a lot at that time was a guy named Darjan Bittner, who owns a digital marketing company who
Mm-hmm.
I consult with. And that's kind of how I got into pickleball.
I
Is-
didn't know how you actually got into, and why did you get into pickleball? Was it your health, your knees, or hips, or whatever?
Yeah, I got into pickleball because I had to quit playing racquetball because of
Yeah,
my hip.
yeah.
I had a hip replacement surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found after the hip replacement surgery, everything kind of felt better and started playing a lot of pickleball.
Mhm. I had to stop playing tennis too. I've had double knee replacement, double hip, and tennis is just brutal on the joints, especially those areas. So that's if you're not playing pickleball yet, you'll probably realize that there's less court to cover, and it's much easier on your body, and you can actually get away with, not having to move so quickly if you've got quick hands.
Yeah, especially if you're just playing doubles,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm just talking about
Yeah,
doubles.
yeah.
Singles are different. But most of you're what, in the 70s, I guess?
Yeah, I'm 70, right on the button.
Yeah. And great condition. I'm 71 and not in your kind of shape, but it allows me to compete with people much younger because again, you're in doubles, you're um, only covering half the court, and with a good partner, which we actually won our first tournament
That
together.
that is correct.
I had just 3 months off of double knee surgery. We went out and we won the tournament, so that was pretty fun.
It was fun. That was Picklemania.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about your paddles, how long you've been designing them, when it started, and then you can talk about the technology behind them.
Sure. So as I mentioned, Darjan Bittner and I were partners in the racquetball tournaments. And about 2 years ago, he said, "Hey, why don't we come out with a pickleball paddle?" He had just started playing. I had been playing for probably 18 months. And I said, "Well, let's come out with one." So we started doing our research. We found there was only like 200 other paddles on the market. So what's the big deal, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So
How
as
many
a,
are out there now?
this, I would say 250
Yeah,
paddles are probably being marketed in some form or fashion.
right.
And obviously the key things we found out was innovation, durability, and marketing.
Hmm.
Those are the key factors that made a paddle viable in the market for longer term.
Hmm.
So the one thing that was big in our favor was marketing.
Hmm.
So Darjan has owned D2 marketing for 20 something years. It's been very successful at it. So we had the marketing piece down. So then we had to come up with design of a paddle, and we used actually AI tools to do some of the design work on the inner workings of the
Cool.
paddle, which was
Hmm.
kind of neat. And of course, being a marketing company, they did all the graphics and laid out
Hmm.
everything like that, right? So then the last key thing was durability, right? How do you make a paddle more durable? So
Hmm.
one of the things we looked at that no one else had at the time was a triple core polypropylene paddle. So typical polypropylene cores will compress and break down, and then the paddle becomes very unstable.
I had one, and I could feel after about 5 or 6 months, it's just started to feel dead. I couldn't get any pop out of it.
Yeah. So that's because the polypropylene core was
Okay.
crushing in
Right.
certain areas. And
Right.
typically it's around the edge when you hit the floor or something like that, right? And our paddles had stood up to that because of the triple core technology.
How long should a paddle, if you're playing every day, how long should a paddle? I mean, everything's got to be replaced at some time, but how much wear and tear do you think you can get out of one of your paddles?
Yeah, I mean, typical now, you will see warranties are 1 year.
Okay. Well,
Right.
that's good. It's longer than I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was, 6, because the other one lasted about 6 months, and I noticed it. So,
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of different people playing at different levels, and obviously the higher end players that play a lot more will sometimes be replacing paddles every 1 to 3 months
hmm
because of the core breakdown.
like their tennis shoes, I guess, or
Yeah,
pickleball shoes.
yeah.
Yeah. So, no one else, your design, talk about the technology and who else is doing this and how does it differ from what you're doing with your paddles?
Yeah, I think there are three unique things when we look at our paddles, right? One is the patented balance lock system, which we'll talk more about. We also have incorporated what's called NFC technology, which is near field communications. That chip allows you to hold your phone or your iPhone or your Android up to the paddle, and it will activate that chip. It'll recognize the paddle model and the serial number, and you register that paddle at that point in time.
I could have used that about a month ago. Someone was kind enough to take my paddle, not yours, it was another paddle that I had from the place that we play. And if I had that technology, I probably could have just gone up to that whole paddle rack and scanned it to see if
Yes.
that, I just thought about that just now.
Right, right. And so also, if that person who stole that paddle would try to register it, we have incorporated code into that chip where we will recognize who that person is, where they're at, and
hmm
be able to find that paddle.
Okay.
Right.
And
And
go ahead.
the third thing we have is something that Darjan brought over from his racquetball days. He patented something called skins, which is a wrap around the frame of the racket that allows you to customize that any which way you want, or just have a standard skins that says Proline Heat,
hmm
Proline Spin, or whatever the name of the paddle is.
And where would that be on the paddle?
Yeah, that would be right here
Around the outside,
around the
because you
outside
can't
of the
put
edge.
anything on the paddle itself, I guess, right?
Correct. Yeah, and the skins are come in these
Yeah.
factors here, and then they have different colors and different names. You could actually put different logos on them if you want to customize them. That's extra, but it's kind of neat and unique because a lot of people have, like these local MLP teams. They want their team logo on there or their pickleball club logo, et cetera, et
hmm
cetera. We've done a few things like that.
Okay. Yeah, mine's pretty beaten up. As you scrape your paddle on the ground going for those low balls.
Correct.
It, so,
It happens.
okay. And then the weighting system, that's kind of what I thought was really
Yeah.
unique.
I think out of all those three, the patent pending balance lock system is kind of unique, right? It allows you to customize the paddle based upon the type of player you are, right? So if you like something that's head light, head heavy, the head light would be for like hand speed of the net, head heavy would be for power strokes from the back. But the cool thing about it is we have 4 different weights, right?
Mhm.
4 different screws. We have these blank plastic screws which have no weight. We have the small screws which are roughly about 2 grams. The medium screws are 3 grams,
Mhm.
and the largest screws are 4 grams each.
Okay. So you can add 8 grams to if you wanted it most people would put it at the top, I would imagine.
Yeah. So if you really look at these, that would be 12 grams of the large screws if you wanted all the large screws in there. But most people don't do that, right? They will generally have a variety of different screws. Either, like I see a lot of women like to play with the screws that are all blank,
Mhm.
right? So there's no weight added to the
Right.
paddle.
There,
Keeps
it's a
it-
light paddle.
It's a light paddle. And then other people might put like a combination of screws like this, which are
Mm-hmm.
2 mediums and 2 larges,
Mm-hmm.
and those screw all the way in using the screwdrivers that come with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it would look uh, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
These are blanks, but they're all the way in. You can't see them,
Okay.
right? So
Right.
they go
Right.
flush with the paddle.
Right. So that other tool, the screwdriver, then what's the other?
So the right now we have 2 different screwdrivers simply because the blank screws are Phillips head. Because the hex screw would not work real well, they'd strip out. But we're getting
Mm-hmm.
ready to change that. We're going to go to all the screws will be Phillips in the future.
Okay.
But right
That's
now
good.
we
Right.
supply the box with the screws and the
So all
screwdrivers.
that comes with the paddle.
It all
I mean,
comes with the
that's a
paddle.
lot of periphery stuff too.
Yeah, yeah. And what I found is after you explain to people like yourself, when we first got together, said, Tom, you're going to have to take some time. Play with the paddle. Like anybody playing with a new paddle takes a week or 2 to kind of get the feel of it. And in this particular paddle, you really want to figure out, well, what's the balance system that I like based upon my playing style?
Mm-hmm.
And it varies quite differently from one person to the next, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I just talked to a lady who started with just all the screws that have no weight.
Right.
And I saw her yesterday. She says, I really love your paddle. She says, I want to put 2 of the smallest screws on the bottom and play with it like that for a while and see how that works.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you the flexibility to do it. You don't have to worry about cutting tape or putting tape on.
Right.
You just put whatever screws you want in there, play with it for a
Right.
while, test it out, and then change it as you need it.
Yeah, and if you need extra weight, you can still go with leaded tape. Put it on the outside. It's not a
You can,
yeah.
correct. And the cool thing about it, with the 4 different sizes, we have 16 different weight combinations you can actually do with it when you do the math.
Okay. Who else is doing this?
There are a couple of other companies that have weights on their paddle, but none of them are designed like ours, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of them has 2 weights on the top of the paddle towards the center and 2 weights on the bottom of the paddle towards the throat. Outside of that,
Why don't you explain what you're talking about? Because I noticed.
so we
Show me.
so we have 4 holes in the paddle, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom.
Right.
Right, and that's on either side.
And
right.
then they've got them.
So they have
located
them.
differently.
They have the one manufacturer has 2 on the top, and then 2 basically right here around the throat.
Okay. And how long did it take you to? Well, let me ask this: does anybody do that with racquetball, or is this just something that y'all came up with for pickleball? Would they even work with racquetball?
No, not that I'm aware of. There was really no weight system in a racquetball racket. There was a company that came out with beads in the head of the racket,
Mm-hmm.
primarily to absorb vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually the paddle I went with, because when I was playing with this one paddle, I started getting tennis elbow. When I switched to that other paddle that had bead systems in the head, it absorbed the vibration. I never had any tennis elbow.
Really,
after that.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
But outside of that, no weights.
Right.
And the restrictions in pickleball are a lot different than they are in racquetball, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're very strict regulations on the construction of the paddle, and it's
More so in
it's
pickleball than
a lot more
interesting.
so.
I
In
didn't know
fact,
that.
in my opinion, it's over the top, but
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is.
Yeah. And is there a standard grip size that comes with the paddles, or you can order whatever grip size you're looking for?
We have a standard grip size and allow people to put wraps around it as they want
Okay.
to. Our grip size is probably a little bit smaller, but there are some paddle manufacturers that do offer different grip sizes. We just have the same grip size. As far as the circumference is concerned, one of our heat paddles has a little bit longer handle on it. This is an elongated paddle.
Yeah.
Versus
Which I like
versus the square
elongated.
paddle, right?
Yeah. What do you prefer, the elongated or?
I play with both.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, I've had to play with all the paddles, so
Right.
it doesn't I really don't have that
Can't tell
big
the
of a
difference.
preference. But what I do find is that tennis players, ex-tennis players, tend to gravitate towards the elongated
We like to
paddle.
bang it.
Yeah, yeah,
We dink out of necessity, but we
yeah,
like to bang it.
correct.
So how long does it take? Like, if someone ordered a paddle, like how long would it take to get it? Are they in stock, or where do you keep them?
Yeah, the two paddles we have USAPA certified now are the spin and the heat.
Hmm.
Both of these paddles are in stock.
That's what I've got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you use the heat. So they're pretty much available. You can go online and see the quantities that are in stock. And then, of course, locally, I hand deliver all the paddles, right?
Hmm.
Because I'm here. But we've had people order them from all over the country, and we just ship them out.
Hmm.
And they get it within, whatever UPS.
And when did ProLine start?
Gosh, that's a
first.
good question. We probably started, at least 18 months ago,
Mhm.
but we didn't really
Come a
start.
long way in 18 months.
Yeah, we didn't start. The website was up and running, I would say, 18 months ago. But we went through a lot of testing, a lot of iterations of paddles and
Yeah.
whatnot. We're still doing that, in fact, today.
Okay.
But the paddles we first had for sale, I think we got certified in July of this year for these two paddles. So they were available at that point in time.
So is the website proline.com, just like it's spelled there with the dash, pro-line.com?
Yeah. ProLinePaddle.com.
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 Okay. Now your bags, let's talk about those.
Yep.
I like those bags.
So these are two of the backpack bags
Mhm.
that we offer. We also offer a pro bag, which is an elongated bag like you would see with tennis players or some of the elongated bags that are out there today. We have that bag as well.
And what do those cost?
Oh, Tom, put me on the spot. I think it's $65 a
Okay.
bag.
And how about the paddles? You probably got a
Yeah,
better idea
the
on those.
paddles, all the paddles with the two paddles with the weight systems are $185.
Okay.
Yeah, but we found that price point in the market compared to lower end paddles or high end paddles was kind of smack dab in the middle.
Yeah, I think the first paddle I got was like $250. Everything was right in that $250 range.
Yeah,
So I thought 185 is pretty fair, especially with your ability to modify it, do things maybe a little bit heavier, a little bit lighter. Is that the heaviest weight you've got on there? If someone said, I want something even heavier, could you do that?
no, these are the weights that we have
Okay.
today. Like if somebody wanted something heavier, like you said, they could probably add
Lead tape.
lead tape or other tape on the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about the differences, what you do, how you're different?
Um, I think getting back to the weight system, I think that's the key part
Yeah.
that I think when I talk to people, the NFC chip's kind of cool too, right?
Yeah.
But the weight system is the thing that says, oh, that's kind of cool, and allows them to customize it to their style and how they like to play.
Right. Are you sponsoring anybody yet? Any pro players?
No, we're not going to do that. We're more of a grassroots, so we'll
Okay.
find people that want to be team players and do a grassroots level like that. One of the other key things in the market is that it's very political, like in a lot of up and coming sports.
Mm-hmm.
There's a USAPA, which is now designated for amateur play, and there's a UPAA, which is the professional association.
Mm-hmm.
And sponsor a professional player today, you have to have UPAA certified paddles, and it's quite expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Even some of the big name paddle companies won't do it because it's just ridiculous.
Right.
The cost it takes to certify that.
Right.
So,
well, is this also your partners? You're doing this full time now. Does he do it also full time,
no,
or
no,
is this just
no. He does all the design work, all the
Okay.
marketing back end work, all the website. I mean,
Okay.
he's a marketing company, right? I'm the field guy.
Okay.
So I'm the guy interfacing primarily with the players, signing up players, and so on and so forth. So if people are interested in becoming a team player or if they are coaching or something like that, we have a form to fill out on the website. that I'll take a look at and go from there.
Okay. And a lot of the paddle companies, they'll give you a code, and if someone buys a paddle ball, they'll give you I don't know, a discount, I guess, on the paddles that you
Right.
buy, or some type of supplement. Do you guys do anything like that?
We do something similar to that, but it's a
Okay.
little different. We are working with a few companies out there that we're about to come out with some programs that will provide some discounts
Mhm.
um, using their products.
Mhm.
I can't say more than that right now because it's in development.
Sure.
But our team players and our elite players that are coaches, when they sign up with us, they get a QR code and they're allowed to make money on all the products that move through them, which is kind of unique.
Yeah.
A lot of paddle companies give commission fees like 5-10%.
Mhm.
Ours range from 17 to 23%.
Okay. And do you have, like, in different shops, do you have paddles that they can try out? Uh, Um, what am I calling it? Demos.
Demo
Yeah.
panels, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're starting to do that now too.
Yeah. I think
But a
that's a
lot of
good
a
idea.
lot of times what we want to do is use our team players out there. We give them a stock of paddles, demo paddles,
Hmm.
and we also consign paddles to them so they can actually transact the sale right then and there if somebody wants to buy it.
Well, I know you've done the research. How do people typically how do they make the selection of what paddle they want? Do they just go
Hmm.
Amazon and start looking? Are you on Amazon, by the way?
No, we're not.
Are you going to do that?
No, we won't. We won't be on Amazon.
Okay. So how are you going to get your customers?
Yeah. So we have a three-phase approach. We have team players that we're signing up
Okay.
in different areas of the country.
Okay.
We have elite players who are coaching. That doesn't mean they're actually, playing on the professional tour, but
Right.
they're
Right.
coaching at a
Sure.
level around in the area. So,
Right.
and then we're doing direct marketing.
Yeah.
Right. So
And
the real big thing, as you know, is that when you look at programs, you look at people playing with the paddle and they're taking lessons. Like I said,
right.
well,
What do you
what do you like?
use?
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I'm certified to teach pickleball. I know you could be too if you go through the
Yeah.
process. I've been on you to do that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I think you're probably right. When people ask for advice, they want to ask for someone that really knows what they're doing, and it's a good way to say, "This is the paddle I use, and this is why I like it."
Yep.
So,
That's exactly correct.
okay.
So I think the last step is time. I think I need you to go out and fill out that form on the website, and I'll make you the team player.
Okay. Well, I do all this gratis. I've never charged for a lesson, and I don't, you know, I do this for strictly pastime and exercise. And I know you're in it for a business, and which I appreciate because we're in a business too. And I'd love to see you guys grow and become a big sponsor of paddle balls, but that takes time. And like I said, you come a long way in 18 months.
Yeah.
I
Thank you,
said
Tom.
pedalball, I meant pickleball. And do you do anything else besides the bags and the paddles?
We also have a line of eye guards.
Okay.
So
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, the eye guards come with 3 different lenses,
Okay.
and those are like $30.
I'm always on people. Even if they're just out there playing around, it's so easy to uh, get hit in the eye with just not only a mishit, but maybe caroms off the side of the paddle, and then you've lost your cornea. So you're making the glasses that have interchangeable.
Correct. We have dark lens, amber lens, and clear lens.
That's a great idea. So you don't have to buy. Uh, you can, if you're playing indoors, you can use a clear lens
Correct.
because I've got to carry two different glasses with me, and the glass stays in there.
Oh yeah.
Plastic stays in there. It's pretty
Yes.
secure.
Very secure.
And are those certified, like, for safety as far as taking a hit?
I think, and I don't know if we have certification for it, but they certainly can take a pickleball hit.
Okay. Yeah. And if you do play pickleball, I really highly advise you because that could be a very, very expensive injury if you get a tear in your cornea, and it does happen. I talked with a doctor. I can't remember who it was, but he said his number one patient between 17 and like 72 injuries are from pickleball.
Yeah.
So more people are getting into it, and they just figure it's not going to happen to me. But I think I'm glad you're offering that. I think that's a important product. Okay, and then if they wanted to buy your tape too, they could buy your tape online?
So the way our skins work, when they buy a paddle and they register the product, we will send them 5 skins to go
good.
with these specific paddles, the heat and the spin, that have the
Okay.
weight systems.
Okay, good.
We have 2 other paddles that don't have weight systems.
Okay, good. And without the weight system, how do those compare weight-wise with these paddles?
Yeah, so the Precision paddle and the Precision X, which we're coming out with, it's not out yet. They weigh about 8.1 ounces.
Versus
8.1
these without anything in them would
They're
weigh.
about between 7.7 and 7.9 ounces.
Okay, so it's noticeable when you.
A lot of people say that it is noticeable, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
No, well, the big tournament's coming up in Brookhaven here next week. I'm playing in the hybrid wheelchair division. I was called to ask to play with that, and it'll
What
be
is that?
interesting.
How does that
So
work?
it's I don't know exactly how, but there will be one of my partner will be is a wheelchair player, and I won't be in a wheelchair, so I'm assuming they're going to explain to me how that works.
And they get 2 bounces, right?
I'm pretty sure they do. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. I wonder how they do that.
Yeah. I'll be able to tell you next week.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Pickleball is such a great sport. Anybody can play it, but as you get into it, you realize there's so many levels that you can go higher and higher and higher, and it becomes more difficult and more rewarding. So if you're not a pickleball player, you should be. It's the fastest growing sport in every age category. And if you're looking for a good paddle, this will solve a lot of your needs, because you can get a paddle to the right weight that you want, and you can move it around from heavier to lighter. So
correct. Customize it to your style of play.
Yeah. Well, Doug, thank you very much. Again, Doug Kite, and we just said the website. What's your email address?
Yeah, my email address is doug@prolinepaddle.com.
All right, Doug, thank you very much. We
Yep.
appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Tom.